to be had, okay? Last pair of tickets from me this week. Good luck to for Cedar Point. Caller 10. 216-578-1007. Or 800-348-1007.
Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Well, not Jerry from Willoughby, but the rest of you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Guardians taking on the Baltimore Orioles again tonight. Beat them last night. Guardians are all over the road, boy. 5-2 the final yesterday. So 2nd of 4 tonight, right around the corner. You can start to see people filing around downtown wearing their Guardians best. 7:10 is the first pitch, so 6:40 is when the pregame will begin. And then they'll play the Reds here in town, and the final series of the season is going to be at Comerica against the Tigers next weekend. Speaking of Baltimore, I'll have tickets for you for Stavros Halkias. I believe he's a Baltimore boy.
He is.
He's doing Playhouse Square.
Funny dude.
In October, just a couple of weeks away, actually, the Fat Rascal Tour.
And that show's close to sold out, so
there you go.
You're going to want these tickets.
I'll also have Bill Burr tickets for you. He is doing the Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. I will have same night as Stavros, so maybe you're not into one, but you're into the other.
That day
Take
is
a pick.
Crazy. You got Stavy Baby. You got Anthony Jeselnik. You got Bill
where's
Burr.
he? The Masonic?
Yeah, he's at the Masonic. And I think Theo Vaughn's in Akron that night.
Wow.
And then I'll be at Fairport Harbor.
Well, hey, listen, there's something for everybody. It's an embarrassment of riches. Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory in Akron. I'll have those passes for you next week. And I'll have passes to see baby boy Bill Squire at the world-famous Agora in December with special guest Mary Santora. The Mary Santora.
Hey.
She's doing a rare hometown date to keep everybody happy before she, well, you're probably off for the holidays then, yeah, or no?
Yeah, I have 2 weeks. Well, 1 week open in November and 1 week open in December.
Bill, are your tickets on sale yet, or is
they
it
are
still
on
pre-sale?
sale now? Just go to agoracleveland.com. You don't need a code. You just go in there and get them, and let's sell this thing out so I can shoot an amazing special, and it'll skyrocket me to fame, and I can forget all of you once and for all.
Skyrocket me to fame. And the tickets, am I correct? The tickets are $65 a piece? General admission?
I don't believe that's how much they are at all.
Oh, I have been sorely misinformed. I'm sorry. Alan's Poundcake still going to Cedar Point this weekend. Was that the plan? Was he going to see? Or I guess he mentioned it in passing.
Yes.
It's supposed to be really busy. Somebody else texted me and said that Owen in Willoughby, I played that clip from him yesterday, that he single-handedly scared this dude's daughter from wanting to go to Cedar Point. Because Owen's like, come on, man.
Cedar Point, because you needed some joy. Man, you're going to be standing in line for 6 hours of your day.
Man, I am downright sunny compared to Owen and Willoughby. You got some hot takes, boy.
I mean, I don't know what time in this season that is not going to be busy. I just knew it was definitely going to be busy on Labor Day. So I didn't go on Labor Day. But, yeah, it's probably going to be busy. And I don't have a fast pass, so it is what it is.
Yeah, you bought that slow pass, didn't you? That was a bad move, boy.
I got that free pass.
They make you make you wait twice as long. Oof. That's why it's so cheap.
What if that was an option?
I know, right? Slow
you
pass.
could go for $10, but you're in the slow pass lane.
You have to let 100 people pass you
every day.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
You have to let 100 people pass you in line before you can start to move.
It's like you don't get to go up until there's no one in the other two lines.
Oh, God. You have to be the last person every time?
Yeah, where they're like, okay, the fast pass lane is clear. The regular pass lane is clear. We can start letting the slow pass in.
They have their own lane.
The line is the ride.
Right. Alan Poundcake said that when he was fired from his morning job, he didn't know how many other people were let go because he didn't talk to anybody else, but then he's going to a wedding from one of those coworkers. Is that one of the morning job coworkers?
Yeah, but I was there for 6 years, and people have come and gone. Some people get other jobs. It wasn't one of the people. She didn't.
She's not another. I see. She was somebody you used to work with there.
Correct.
Gotcha. But that's how you met her.
Yep.
She's the bride.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know the groom?
I know him because I hung out with the two of them together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Who does that? I'm getting let go. Who else got fired? I need to know.
A lot of people do that. This is what I'm talking about with you guys.
that.
Never ask follow-up. All the stupid questions you do think to ask people, and you don't ask a normal question like, oh, my God, who else got let go? That's like a standard question. Oh, my God, who else got let go? Because some people like to call those other people and go, hey, they talk shop or they talk shrimp or whatever. It's a very normal question.
It never crossed my mind.
I know it didn't. That's my point.
I just didn't know that was a thing.
To go, oh my God, who else?
Or you could always just say, like, how many other people?
Because these are people that you work with.
I mean,
I think it's different because you were working at home. If you had still been in the office, maybe you wouldn't have. I don't know.
It's like
I know when the times that I've gotten fired, I've been like, who else?
It's almost like
you can tell because if you're working in an office, it's security has to escort you to the elevator. So they go to your desk, they put your crap in a box, and you just see a line of security taking people to the elevator. So you can who else got let go.
But it's almost like a death. Everyone gets fired alone. You don't bring a buddy into the office like,
no,
hey,
but that's why. But that's why people are like kibitzing afterwards. They're all telling tales, and they're all That's why a lot of people they'll go somewhere and everybody get drunk. They're like, well, gotta let go. Where's the meetup? You've never done that?
I've never been fired.
Oh well, all right.
I've been fired one time. I got fired from a tanning salon job that I had in high school that I was definitely too young to work at. And I was getting paid under the table, cash, like $40 a day or whatever. And
that wasn't a real job. You didn't get fired.
No. I got fired because when it was slow, I was like doing my homework at the front desk, or I would just go tanning because I was 16. And I'm like, whatever, dude, nobody's been in here in 2 hours. I'm going to go tan for 10 minutes. I was using the owner's lotion and stuff. And then
the owner's lotion.
Yeah. The one time, because there was like a filing cabinet, and one of the drawers had lotion that like anybody could use. And I had opened a different drawer, and apparently that was the owner's drawer. And I was using that lotion. I used all of it. But I would call every Sunday, and the owner would tell me, okay, come in Wednesday and Thursday this week, or come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. And they didn't use me like 3 weeks in a row. And I told my parents about it. My dad was like, you're getting fired. Like, they haven't used you. And I finally asked, I was like, hey, are you guys firing me? And she goes, yeah, we're going to have to let you go.
They just didn't schedule you. But that's his fault for trying to cut corners.
But I didn't think anything of it,
They didn't even formally fire you. You just,
no.
You're not on a schedule anymore.
You weren't on the schedule. And I didn't think anything of it. It's like one of the first jobs I ever had. I was like, I'm just not on the schedule. I'm just not on the schedule. And then my dad was like, you're getting fired. I was like, no. And then I asked, and they're like, yeah,
you're
not
fired. Getting fired. You are fired. You've been fired for 3 weeks.
Yeah, right. I had already been fired.
The 3rd week.
We fixed the glitch.
Right.
She's not getting paid anymore.
And
I don't even know if I was 16, to be honest with you. I might have been 15 at that job. I was definitely too young to be working.
I was 23. I got fired from a coffee house job that I needed. And I was a manager, and the GM takes me aside, and she goes, I'm going to let you go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you don't want to be here. I mean, she knew I was still straddling stand-up and radio, and she's like, you need to get the hell out of here. You need to get your ass in gear and figure out. Because we were friends or whatever, but it was like I had gotten dumped, and so I was like all sulking over that. So it was like she had enough, and she goes, I'm letting you go because then you're going to have to figure out what you need to do. But I was like, but I was like, I need this job. Like, I can't. She's like, no, I'm letting you go. I'm like, okay. And then I went like 2 blocks up and managed a Blockbuster until I got my first full-time radio gig. But I was like, man. And then after that, she'd see me. She'd like, how's it going? Like, there was no like, gee, I'm so sorry. Nothing like that. She thought she was showing me some tough love. And I go, I'm not lacking in ambition, right? I'm not some lazy dude
and
who's
you're stuck doing radio because you're coffee house dreams got cut out from
That's what I
under
told
you.
her.
Was
That's
there
what I
sexual
told
tension?
her.
Did she want to sleep with you secretly? And she was like, I gotta let him go. He's tempting me every
Nope.
day being here.
Nope. No, her husband at the time was, she was this little redhead, and her husband at the time was like a sports anchor on television in Chicago. A big, tall, black dude. Nice guy. He's in Phoenix now. I'm actually still in contact with him. But like their little girl, I mean, this was 30 years ago. So their little girl's married now and is wild. But yeah, she was like, I'm going to let you go. And I think that was I don't think that was the first time I'd ever been fired, but it was definitely the first time I'd ever been fired at a job like that I needed. I'm like, this is not a great job, but I need this job. She's like, you'll figure it out. You're smart. You'll figure it out. I'm not worried about you.
And
I'm like, okay, cool.
and it was because you were sulking over, like you just had a bad attitude at work, or
I didn't have a bad attitude at work. It was just that she could see that, I don't know
Your
what
heart wasn't in it.
I don't know what she saw. She's just like, you don't want to be here anymore. And I liked everybody I worked with, and it's, but yeah, it was a retail job. So it wasn't something that I was going to do for the rest of my life, obviously, but she thought she was showing me some tough love, and maybe she was. I mean, eventually I would have left there. I would have gotten a gig, but I guess I don't know. She was like, it's time for you to go.
wow.
I'm like, okay.
Okay, bye.
So I take it you've never cried during being fired, right?
Pardon me.
You never cried?
I don't cry in life.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
And
I
I've
didn't know.
cried when my children were born,
gonna- is
but
that-
that's about it.
Is that the only level?
Gay.
And when I got married to Gwen, I cried too.
I was gonna say,
Even
are those the
gayer.
only scenarios in which you cry?
What's that?
Like, again, I hear
Most of the
stories
crying
about.
people die not when they're born.
There's just some people that are like, I'm just crying because I'm stressed, which I could understand. Crying because I'm mad, or
No,
crying
I understand
because,
all
like,
that.
wanna lose a job.
I am just not wired. I'm just not a crier. So it's
Yeah, me neither. I never cried.
Mary's not either.
Mary does
Would you
not cry.
Do you think you would cry, Mary, if you lost a job?
That's the only job I've ever been fired from. I've never been fired from any other job.
Mary
in
cries
my
when she has to
adult
go
life.
to a job.
Yeah, dude, I cry a lot. I cry about everything.
Surprisingly, I didn't cry. Like, I was just like,
Why did you think you'd cry from getting fired?
If it was like a job I loved and it came out of nowhere,
That's what but anybody would be
you'd be
emotionally
like
distraught
shocked,
from that.
Where you're like,
right.
whoa, I'm like, I thought everything was cool, man. Like, I feel like usually before you get fired, you can kind of tell. I guess not in your case. It was a letting go kind of like, hey, we're just downsizing.
pretty much. Yep, that's exactly how it was.
Oh, I remember a radio job where all of a sudden I noticed that the GM wasn't talking to me anymore. He wasn't poking his head in my office.
No eye contact.
Yeah, and I was like,
You
well,
know.
I was. Yeah, it's like I always had my head down and was working anyway. But it was kind of like he used to. He's one of these guys. He'd be walking around
He'd
the
make the
station.
rounds, yeah.
Hey, man, And I started to notice he wasn't poking his head into my office anymore. And little did I know, there were other things going on that had nothing to do with me, but it involved my show being removed and being replaced by somebody that he wanted in there. And so it was only in retrospect I was like, God damn it, I knew it. He stopped poking his head in. So you can get signals like that. But a lot of times it's just, hey, you don't work here anymore. Okay, so this is your last day here. This is your goodbye package. There's this movie called Up in the Air that Jason Reitman did about 10 years ago with George Clooney as a corporate guy who goes around and fires people. Have you ever seen this movie?
Yeah.
Love the movie. Bateman's in it. I think Anna Kendrick, one of her early roles. And they used real people who had gotten fired in this movie. Instead of actors, they did like interstitials with people who had gotten fired in real life by one of these people. And yet they're crying and they're telling these stories about how, like, they don't want to go home because they don't want to tell their family, how am I going to feed my kids? It was just heartrending. But it gave that movie like an extra. And Clooney's just a dude who goes around the country and sits down across from people and goes, so this is your last day. And they like slide. It was like an early J.K. Simmons role. He was one of the guys that got fired. Yeah. No, I would not cry if that was the question.
If your job was to fire people, do you think you would be a happy person? Like, do you think you would like your job?
I
think
mean,
you'd have to be a very specific kind of person. You'd have to.
I think
you'd have to
Poundcake would be thrilled.
You'd have to be able to separate your emotions, which I'm not very good at.
yeah, that was kind of the point of this movie. Is that Clooney's just a dude. He's like, hey, this is my job, and I mean, he injected some pathos into it so he could talk to these people and at least look like he was sympathizing with them. But he's like, this is my job. I'm a guy who goes and swings the axe. But no, I think most people would not be happy doing that for a long period of time.
I think Poundcake would live for it.
Yeah. It's like a doctor who works in a specialty where you're constantly telling people there's nothing more they can do for them.
Cancer.
Like if you're
if
you're an oncologist or something. But I mean, your bedside manner, that's part of the gig. And after a while, you just you're not a dick about it, obviously. Some doctors are. But some people compartmentalize a little too well. But yeah, I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah, see, and telling it to the person would be one thing, but like, say it's a kid that's sick, and you have to go to the mom and the dad. Like,
yeah, that's
listen,
a different level.
I can't do that.
I don't think you could do that, but I definitely think you could be the guy that's like, hey, we got some bad news. It's your last day.
I would come bearing snacks. I would start it out with a meal first. Like, hey, what?
I think you'd be very good at it, honestly. I don't think you would be a jerk about it. I don't think you'd. It's not like Taylor Swift's birthday when Jake Gyllenhaal didn't show up and you'd start laughing at him. But I think you.
This is Poundcake firing people.
Yeah. But like that wielding that power.
Like, hey, you want to remember your first day here when the boss took you out to lunch? Yeah. How about we go out to lunch again? Wait, why? Because it's going to be the last time you have lunch here. See, I just want to take you where you want to go. You could have. And we won't give you a budget. Go out with a bang. Go anywhere you want. Because remember, it's your last meal.
It's your last meal.
And I just do the little last meal. Just, touch him on the side of the shoulder. Ding.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we've seen into your future. Maybe you'll be a corporate axe swinger.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're going to have to clean out your desk. And, well, actually, no, it will do it.
Why are you using that voice?
That's his I'm firing you voice.
Yeah, we're going to have to let you go. You don't need to touch anything in your desk. We'll have HR move it out and mail it to you. But, yeah, it was really nice working with you. And, yeah, we'll make this quick.
These days, you got to hope they don't come back and shoot you in the face, by the way. These people who I'd be terrified firing people because you're like, fingers crossed that everything goes all right, that they keep their head on straight. You got to go, yeah?
I do, yes.
All right.
Hey, Poundcake, you got to go.
This is your last segment on the show,
Yeah.
Poundcake. I'm sorry. It's
That's so funny.
it's
2 jobs in 1 week.
oh, the humanity. All right,
Please
well,
do not take anything with you. It's your personal items.
Yep, if we had security here, they would escort you to the elevator.
Yeah,
We're going to be on a call with security.
Do I scan this QR code?
Let me scan the QR code to get security.
Tech support.
HR.
Okay, let me break here. You want to send a text 35192. You can hit us up at alancoxshow.com.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
2 hours to midnight.
This week, music from Helmet, if you can't get to the garage shop to see them. Brand new Tomb Mold, local music from Centralist, plus classics from Iron Maiden, Forbidden, and In Flames.
Saturday Night Metal
10 to midnight.
on 100.7.
WMMS.
You're rocking